Yo, it's MC Devi here. You are listening to the Bayat Beat podcast, exposing the truth as we see it. This is the podcast where a son, a mother of one, and a grandmother of three open up each other's eyes to the Matrix, look at the modern day world from the perspective of three different generations, follow, laugh, and brilliantly analyze the tragic comedy we know as the human experience. Music you are listening to is by my late and great grandfather Sadoun El Bayati. May he rest in peace. Okay, hello. This is Devin A.C. Dada, your host, joined with my two lovely co-hosts, the Reverend Summer El Bayati and the matriarch Barbara El Bayati, and also a spontaneous special guest, Captain Wayne Carr.
Yeah.
Just came back from the sea. Hello.
Hi. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're
How are you?
good.
Glad to come
Good
by.
to have you here.
Yeah, this was a spontaneous visit. It was not planned, so I guess we're going to interview you. You just came back from the sea, right?
I did, yes.
Can
I
you
brought
tell
you
us a
guys
little
some
about
fresh
that?
tuna,
Yeah,
right?
Ooh,
From poke
thank
that I made
you.
this morning for
Fresh tuna.
multiple groups.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yummy,
It's so
yummy.
good. Oh, I had a bite. No, I got to get some of this up the hill. So here I am.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. I love tuna. It's my favorite,
Wow,
honestly.
that's great.
So how was your trip? Did anything interesting happen?
It was a really good trip. Caught a lot of large tuna. About 1,000 miles, 240 degrees from San Diego.
Mm.
And yeah, it takes a week to get out, week to get back.
Yeah.
And we fished for 14 days, and we're on the fish good enough that we could fish every day with no travel days in between. So it was a good trip, and we caught nice quality fish. So it was-
Okay. Now I know there's like some flesh-eating bacteria in the water. Was there a lot of pollution when you were out there?
You know, it was really shocking because the water was so clean.
Really?
I was very surprised. Yeah, I'm normally pretty disturbed by the amount of trash and debris and plastic I see, but I went days without seeing any floating piece of trash, which
Really?
was a
Wow.
first for me, to be honest with you.
Was there a lot of like wildlife, dolphins?
Not a lot, no.
No?
It was a surprising lack of birds. Yeah, a little bit of flying fish. I heard some of the guys saw squid at night, which is what the big tuna like. But no, it was surprisingly free of life, visible life anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. So you're Buddhist, yes?
Yes,
Mhm.
sir, yeah, over 40 years.
Wow. So when you're out on the sea, how do you sort of, I assume you're not around other Buddhists, right?
No, my
So-
crew is all Catholic.
All Catholic, really?
Yeah, other boats I run, they were all Islamic.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So how do you maintain that when you're out on the sea, basically?
Well, I'm the captain,
Mm-hmm.
so I get to do whatever I want in a sense. I'm really respectful. The guys, they walk in on me when I chant, when I'm
Really?
chanting, because yeah, I'm chanting 3 or 4 hours a day or more, and you know, they pop in and out, wanting to tell me something or comment, or so they know I chant.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's my way of practicing Buddhism is to respect them, their
Yeah.
freedom to move about.
So when you're out there, is it sort of like a solitude, like you can look in yourself, like a retreat almost?
It becomes a time of reflection, that's for sure, because they don't speak English really,
Oh.
and so I don't have a dialogue with people. I talk to other captains. There's 4 boats. I talk to like 2 of them once or twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
I do emails. So it's, I study very intensely. I studied Unlocking the Mysteries of Life and Death this last trip. And it seemed like it'd be a really heavy-duty book, but it turns out it was one of the best books on Buddhism I've ever read. I was I was excited. I was like trembling one day.
Really?
Some of the stuff I read. I wish I had the book with me. It might be in my car, but there's some quotes in there. Pages and pages of quotes. Oh my goodness, you know.
What is it about exactly?
The process of birth, growth, decline, and death. And I didn't get to the death part, but it just talks about how to live the most effective life as a human being, and you know, to always be self-reflecting, self-reflective, and it's you know, how to become the master of yourself. You know, if you find within yourself a master, you've really found the ultimate master, you know, type of deal. But it was mind-boggling because, you know, everybody thinks and talks about life and death. And,
big question.
You know, when I'm chanting that these fish are giving their life to help me to be successful, and I chant, I chant for the lives that I take, you know, to feed people. I know I'm in a sustainable fishery. It's one of the few healthy, sustainable fisheries in the ocean left in the world, and I suppose if it wasn't sustainable, I would probably have to quit.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no. So being out on the sea, it, you know, I don't chant anything, but to me, everything is Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. So when I'm looking at clouds or I'm looking at the horizon, I'm looking at birds, I'm looking at whatever I see in front of my eyes while I'm chanting, you know, I like see the Gohonzon or Buddha. Yeah. Buddha nature. Yeah.
Interesting.
I wanted to get back to the idea of the ocean and debris, plastic in the ocean. I'm amazed that you didn't see any of this trip, but it's the first time you said.
Yes.
That you haven't seen any.
It's the cleanest trip I've ever been on.
That gives me a lot more hope, you know, because I worry a lot about the environment. Can you talk a little bit about being Buddhist and having seen all of the debris and the plastic in the ocean and how that affects you and how that is for you as a Buddhist?
Yeah, it's kind of a full cycle for me. Man created this problem, and it's constantly, you know, it's an evolving problem. But I feel we're going to have to be smarter than the problem. Unfortunately, we're leaving that up to the millennials and others, which I feel bad about, but it's apparently that's their mission in life, is to change and fix what we've done. At the same time, I look at it and I go, well, the human beings are part of evolution too, you know, us and the animals and everything else. So it's kind of we're evolving and we're kind of destroying the planet, and so we're going to have to be smarter than that. And there are pockets of people who are evolving, you know, even in Brazil with what's going on with the rainforest, right? Yes. The Brazilians are up in arms, you know, they want it. That's 20% of the oxygen on the planet, right? So, but when the president comes out of Brazil and says, "Oh, my detractors are running around starting fires," then you know, we see the stupidity, as with other leaders of other countries, you know, not accepting responsibility or looking at reality. So yeah, it's a lot to think about constantly. Yeah, I read a lot about it, and I'm very concerned. You know, yeah.
And go ahead.
When you were out there, you have internet, right?
Well, not like you guys do, not like Google or you know, I get satellite emails. That's it.
So you didn't know about the burning till you came home, correct?
Right. That's correct. And I didn't know about the mass shootings till I got home.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently the Amazon's been burning for 3 weeks, and the media's covered it up. So we haven't heard about it till now. So it's been burning for even longer than
Right.
it is. How did that impact you, just getting all that information? And, as a Buddhist, you're very empathetic towards, all life and everything. So
Mhm.
how do you deal with that?
It's all part of the whole picture, right? For me, our president actually sent some planes, water carrying planes to help fight the fire, which was, doesn't do everything wrong.
Yeah.
But, as Buddhists, I think I'm forever hopeful, If we destroy this planet, I know that there's a gazillion planets out there that are sustaining life. And if we really believe in, the eternity of life, that if we destroy this planet, we're going to be born somewhere else in another life form. It's, I don't know, it's something worth studying and, trying to understand. That's why I'm reading Unlocking the Mysteries of Life and Death.
Yeah.
And I do my best study when I'm out at sea.
Because you're focused, right?
Yeah, I have no distractions. Yeah. And then so I read slowly. I want to digest what I'm going through. I don't just glean over it. I took some quotes out and emailed them to a couple of friends who said, "Where did you get that? Can you tell me the source?" And it turns out it was books they've read.
Really?
But they didn't see what I saw.
Yeah. Because they're in a hurry, probably.
Right. They're, I want to, check this book off as read. But, there was another book I read, Life. Was it by President Gaeta? Life. I can't remember the rest of the title. An Enigma, a Precious Jewel. One of the other best books I've ever read. Buddhism, the way it describes life is, so beautiful. It respects life, It talks about the rain that falls and, nourishes everything equally, the gentle rains. And, that concept is, I think it's what's going to allow us to pull up the whole planet and everybody together, under, one umbrella of thought to save the planet and the people. And what are we doing? What about cause and effect?
Yeah.
It's real. Yeah.
I heard about, there was a YouTuber talking, and he was talking about the rainbow children and how the rainbow children are like the youth, and how this world is kind of dying. He was very metaphorical, I think, and how this old world is kind of dying, this old empire, and it's time for the youth to unite and create a new world. And he connects, the burning of the phoenix and all that stuff. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand millennials. I try to relate to them. I try to find out what triggers them, what interests them, what leads them forward in life. And it's just a completely different mindset from what I came from. And I try to be open-minded and try to, have open eyes, really see what's going on. And just realize that they have a different mission. That's why they're all born at this time in this place, thinking the way they do, because they have a reason they're born.
Yeah, different destiny.
Right.
Yeah.
Different kind of bodhisattvas of the earth, with a different mission. Yeah.
Definitely.
So a lot to think about, right? Constantly.
Well, and I was thinking about, is it Generation
Z? I'm Z. I'm Generation Z.
Z?
I'm on the cusp.
The next generation.
Oh, the next generation is Alpha generation.
Oh,
so Z.
I was thinking. I was thinking Z. I don't know. Maybe Alpha. I don't know. But one of these generations that are even newer than millennials. I was listening to Bernie Sanders talk with some young people, probably millennials, I'm assuming. And they were reflecting on all of the debt that they have from attending college, not being able to purchase homes and what have you. And it was interesting because they were reflecting on their communities and how the young people that are in school are saying, I do not want to go to school. I don't want all that debt. So we have, in effect, we are embarking upon a dumbing down even more of our society by younger students saying, I don't want all that debt, right? I don't want to go to college because I don't want to be heavily in debt. So I can just graduate from high school and go get a job. Not that that's a bad thing or means somebody's, not intelligent or anything like that. It's just, it's worrisome to me because, I believe college should be free and everybody has a right to learn, and we have to keep learning and keep learning and keep learning. And so that concerns me that we have so many young people who are now afraid to go and learn what they want to learn or fulfill their dreams even. Because fulfilling your dream or going after your dream is what brings you hope. And it concerns me that so many young people don't have hope, right?
Well, that's the importance.
My generation didn't have debt. Tuition for college was very affordable in public schools. Private schools tended to give out lots of scholarships and fellowships, depending on whether you're an undergraduate or graduate. And so we graduated with our various degrees with no debt. The whole student loans industry started, I think, in the mid-70s with the whole restructuring of the economy in this country. It's been a terrible thing. Terrible thing. Student debt should be forgiven.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
As someone who has a lot of student debt.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm definitely don't want that at all. I think that's kind of became the new form of slavery.
Yes.
In my opinion. So for me, I know the history of universities and colleges, and I know that in ancient times, college was for scholars. And it's kind of changed a bit. Now you can get a business degree and, all this stuff. And as a young person, as a youth, college doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah.
Especially since scholars are so neglected in our society. And I know I've definitely found myself like, oh, what do I want to do? And I think everybody's kind of gone in that trap who's around my age. But I definitely know, connecting back to the environment, that that's something super important, and that's sort of letting go of your dreams to save somebody else's, like your grandkids or something.
Yes.
And saving the environment is something I think every young person now needs to consider, and which I've considered. So I'll definitely be voting for Bernie because I want free college and I want to be able to do what I want to do. And then there's also the whole thing that, parents sort of pressuring kids to go to college, and then companies don't really care about college degrees so much. And that's that whole neglection of scholars, and it's a change in society that might have a big impact, especially with automation of jobs. All this stuff is happening at the same time. The college debt, young kids don't want to do that. Then the automation of a lot of jobs, and so I think if our society is going to survive, we need college to be free, and we need to move past sort of this every man for himself mindset, and go more towards a Star Trek sort of utopian mindset where everybody, or Greece mindset where everybody's artists and everybody is, gets to express themselves without the balance of money and society.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Wayne's fishing expeditions. I'm kind of interested. You said that the crew on this last trip was mainly Catholic, and they all
Filipinos.
spoke the same language. What?
They're Filipinos.
Filipinos. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they spoke Tagalog.
Okay. And another crew that you had were all Muslims?
They were from Indonesia.
From Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you find them? Are they based in San Diego? Or
no, they're
what?
contracted by their countries.
Oh.
Labor providing services in foreign countries. I think the Philippines, they farm out about 10 million jobs worldwide with nurses and medical and, labor,
teachers,
house cleaners. And these guys that work on the boat, they come out for 2 or 3 years. They sign a contract. They cannot leave the boat.
Wow.
They're on the boat together, for 2 to 3 years. And, they can request to go home anytime, but if they do that, then they may not be able to come back. They're like considered heroes in their country because they're going away. They're giving up their freedom, and their families and all that to make money. Most of them, almost all of them, their kids go through college and become doctors and lawyers and such. It seems like almost everybody I talk to, that's the case with their children, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Ultimate sacrifice.
They make very little money by our standards, but they tell me, don't worry, Cap, when I take that dollar home, it's worth 40 times more. That's their view of it. So we're tying the boat up in December. We're going to haul it out, and so all these guys are going home, and they're so excited. You can tell that they just want to get these next 3-4 months out of the way, and go try it. Hopefully they can be home by Christmas. I hope.
So when is your next trip out?
Like 2 days.
In 2 days
Tuesday.
You're leaving again?
Supposed to leave Tuesday, yeah.
What? And you'll be gone a month again?
More or less, yeah.
Wow.
28 days, 26 to 28 days, and as long as everything goes smoothly, yeah.
And that's all out on the sea.
Yes, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. I want to leave so I can come back.
Will you go to the same general location?
The same direction, yeah. Out of San Diego, you don't have a lot of directions to fish. Like in Hawaii, we can fish 270 degrees to the compass. Out of San Diego, we have less than 90 degrees of optional direction to go to fish. And so we go way offshore. Most people don't realize there's a big warm water current that pushes up the coast. You don't even hit it until you get out about 600 or 700 miles. Then the water starts, it gets as low as 62 on the way out. And then it goes up to 65, and then it hits 68, and then 70, then 72, and then we're fishing in 73 to 75 degree water on the surface. And then on the down deep where we fish, it's like 62 degrees. 59 to 62 is optimal for the tuna that we can catch, yeah.
You don't have salmon out that far.
Pardon me?
You don't have salmon out that far?
No.
That's
no,
too far south.
Yeah. I imagine the water's too warm for them there.
Yeah.
Although we might catch one accidentally, but I haven't seen one, no. Yeah. It's but I have seen flying squid. I saw flying squid last year.
Flying squid.
What does that look like?
They look like flying fish.
Wow.
So I saw them for a couple of days. I thought they were flying fish, because sometimes some areas we fish, there's just fields of flying fish coming up at once, Some as small as they look like dragonflies, and then we get them up to over a foot long. And so the flying squid come up in groups, But the difference between them and flying fish catch the wind and they glide back and forth or whatever, and they hit the ground and they flip their tail and they keep going because that's how they escape predators. The flying squid come up and they go up. It seems like they go up about 20 or 30 feet, but they go straight, and you see them fluttering their little flippers, and they put their legs out to the side to create a glide thing, and they go down. So the first couple times I saw them, I remember subconsciously thinking, that was odd. Those flying fish were funny. And then finally, some popped up in front of the boat, like 8 of them on the port side. And I went, oh my God. I grabbed my camera. I turned my phone, I pointed it that way, and like 50 of them came up on the other side.
Wow.
So I missed them all.
Wow.
The next day I sat there with my camera on, my phone on for 8 hours while we're setting gear. It's like, I'm going to get these. I'm going to document it, and then it was shut off. And then I had to turn it back on, open it back up, get it refocused on the bow. But they never came up. They never came up. But it was just like, I couldn't believe it, 40 years at sea, and all of a sudden there's, what are these? This is a new species. Maybe I'm going to be the first,
Wow, right.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So it was really interesting. So that's what keeps me going.
So 40 years at sea.
Yeah.
So how did you get started?
Out of high school, I was going to college, and right out of high school, I went and worked on a boat, my friend's dad's boat, for the summer for free. I was a pinhead. Pinhead does everything, he doesn't get paid.
Like a volunteer.
But to me, it was like, wow, I get to eat lunch for free. 'Cause we'd leave at like 10 o'clock the night before, and we'd go all day, and we'd get in at 5 or 6 in the evening. And it was like, wow, I get to work for free, but I get breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free too. And it was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was so happy. And then the fall came, and I started going to college, and I was in college. And then at the spring break, I went out fishing, and I just went, oh my God, that's it. I'm done. This is what I'm going to do. And I quit school and begged for a job on a boat, said I'd work for free until you realized you had to hire me. And that's how I got started.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. I was born on an island. My mom says, I told her I saw a boat when I was a little kid, and I said, someday I'm going to be a boat captain. That's how the story goes.
Wow.
But I don't know,
So which island were you born on?
I was born in Okinawa.
Okinawa, that's what I thought.
Which I'm going back to in December to visit.
Oh.
I'm going to go visit the island my mom was born on, Amami Oshima. And they say it's like the Hawaii of Japan. It's warm and tropical. So
Wow.
go see where my roots are.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Will that be your first time back?
To Amami. Yeah, since I was a little kid, I have not been back to Okinawa since I was 2. So I will not remember anything.
Wow.
But I'm just interested to see what it feels like, And I know in Amami, the population of Buddhists is like 1/3 SGI.
Wow.
Yeah, 1/3 of the population is practicing SGI Buddhism, which should be really interesting. Yeah.
That's going to be so neat for you
Yeah.
to go there and meet people and.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to try to contact relatives or not, because they're so giving. They probably won't let me rent a place. They won't let me buy any food. They won't let me buy anything. And I don't want to do that to them.
Yes.
But they'd be insulted if I don't. So I don't know if I'll let them know I'm there. Who knows?
You could, at the end of your journey, you could always call them. Come for a couple
They'll be
days.
mad, and then I'll feel bad because they'll be so nice.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm going to talk to my sister and my brother-in-law because they went out there with my mother about 10 years ago.
That's cool.
See what they say.
Wow.
Is this like a, what is the word I'm looking for? Almost like a pilgrimage in a way for you?
Well, we're going to Taiwan to see Evelyn's mother, who turns 90. And then I've watched some food shows on Okinawa, so I want to go there to eat. And well, that was kind of the basis of our marriage, was food. That's what was our mutual attraction. We like to go eat different kinds of stuff. So
wonderful.
And we're taking the boys, so it's gonna be challenging financially.
Yeah.
It's going to cost a lot of money, but that's all right. Because it'll probably be maybe the last time that we all travel together like that, I would imagine. So it's such a journey.
And your boys are both adults.
Yeah.
Right? Young adults.
Yeah.
These
22 and 28.
That's probably millennials, huh?
They're millennials, I
They're
believe.
millennials.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do they think about the environment? Are they concerned?
Very.
Very.
Well, Tristan is, he wants to study sustainable agriculture.
Oh.
And Calvin, he just, I don't know, he doesn't talk much, but he's really fighting to make causes, in the practice of Buddhism, supporting every activity he can. And I'm very proud of him. I know he has personal struggles, but I just tell him, I said, that's how we cleanse karma out of our lives. It has to come to the surface, and that I just reassured him even today is that, you're making so many causes, trust and understand that in the future, you'll understand what you were doing now.
Can you say more about karma and cleansing karma?
Well, we all have karma, the karma storehouse, right? We make causes with our thoughts, words, and actions. We believe in the eternity of life. So this is just, a pit stop in our cycle. And as you all know that, Kelvin had some really challenging issues with near death a couple of times. So he's changing some really deep karma, but at the same time, because of that, after the predicted imminent death of my son, he went on to really inspire a lot of people. Right?
Yes, very inspirational.
It took him a long time to recover actually from the overdose. And then had some mental issues that came up, but 1 in 5 people have mental issues. So it's kind of like this tremendous mission he has to go through addiction, mental illness, and and to come out on top, a victor in a sense that he beat the darkness, he beat the challenges, he overcame his own karma, changed his destiny, and like I told him, I said, I'm very proud of you, and you just trust, hearing it from someone who, for 40 years since he was 18, has practiced Buddhism and gone, through some real crap. Myself, I can say with absolute confidence that he's making the most powerful cause for his future that he can, and for others, because his life is touching so many people.
Yes.
And that's how we have to change this planet, each one of us, creating our own ripples, emanate out and affect those around us, I affect other boat captains, through my dialogue, through my conduct, through how I carry myself and the respect that I show everybody, including my crew, whether they're Indonesian Muslims or, Filipino Catholics or Pacific Islanders, show them all respect and show them care, I care about them as human beings, It's very important to me to that I have a dignified life and I respect the dignity of everybody else's lives, whether they be Buddhist or not, there's no difference. I have to go barbecue.
Yes, you do.
Before it gets too dark.
Yes. Well, thank you for coming on with us, and sorry for taking away from your barbecue session.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed. Did you enjoy this?
Oh, I did. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
Spontaneous.
this was very
and
beautiful.
Unexpected and
This is very beautiful. We really appreciate it.
This was the mystic law. This was
I
very
always
mystical.
love hearing you talk about Buddhism, Wayne. I've learned so much from you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
It's very important to me.
My stuff. I'm not like an intellect. I'm kind of just a simple person, but I observe everything and I read and take it to heart. And then I only, you know, I can only speak from my heart because I can't memorize stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have to, whatever comes out of my heart, you know. Yeah.
It's
Well,
very
it's a beautiful heart. Thank you so much for sharing.
No, it was a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy that some pokey brought me over.
Pokey, yes.
The pokey brought
Thank
you
you.
here.
The
I love
Pokemon.
it.
Yeah, so Chizuko got fish today. Mariko Stopchuk got fish. This Vietnamese
Wow.
lady got fish. The Friedmans got fish, and then we had poke at the Foothill district meeting today, and Summer Sanders family got fish.
All right.
That's my nickname, y'all.
You didn't know
Summer
she's
Sanders.
an ex-Olympic swimmer, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
I am Pisces, so you know.
Yeah, you are a fish.
I am a fish.
I'm totally opposite. I'm a lion, which, I mean, lions of
Lions of
justice.
justice.
So, I mean,
There you go.
pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to end the episode here. You have been listening to the Bayat Beat.
Yeah.
And we are the
The
Bayat
Bayat
Beat.
Beat.
Good night, Arnold.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Arnold.
Arnold.